Bravo. You sound terrific, both of you. Very, very good. It's musical playing and imagination, which this piece needs. In fact, this being one of our most important works, it's always been a little bit of a, maybe not a mystery, but a problem for me that there's when so many different interpretations.
Yeah.
They're just all over the map. When when you listen to 10 cellists, you hear 11 interpretations, right? So, and I can understand that in the sense that because it's impressionism and we're thinking of fantasy and imagination and creativity and all of the things that we think of when we think of impressionism, that I guess that gives people a license. But at the same time, the other side of the coin is that Debussy is so specific. This is one of the most heavily marked sonatas by composers. There's so much in there that, and what I actually liked about your performance is I can tell you've paid attention to it. When there's a Sede, I hear a Sede. When there's a poco animando, I hear a poco animando. And I hear you attempting to make color changes. There's so many color changes indicated. So I think mainly what I want to do is maybe help you to do what you're doing, maybe in some cases a little bit more graphically, with a little more clarity or a little more success. But I think we'll be on the same page because I think interpretively I think we're on the same page. Yeah. So in that case, bravo. That's a joke. So the simplest thing in the world, and I won't mention intonation again, but the first D, right? First position D. What could be easier? So you're probably not thinking about it, right? Did you know you played it sharp?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you come in, you just listen for the resonance in the center of that D, and it takes care of itself. Okay, so one of the things about what I found a little bit inconsistent, I think that he writes all over the place. He's writing very long slurs, very long lines, which obviously are not bowings. We have to change the bow, but it shows that he has the long thought in mind. And what I like to do is, under those long slurs, is to pay a little bit more attention to note groupings, right? So like here, I like that. That was the bowing you did, right? Why don't you do it when it's the octave higher as well?
Okay.
It's, I think, you can hide it, but I think yada-da-da-dum and yada-da-dum, those kind of gestures all the way through, when you don't need the bow change. So even instead of, you did both, right? But but do you hear, or you hear that together, and you also hear that together, don't you? You hear that together. So if you just think about it a little bit, and maybe I felt that maybe, wherever you change, you want to basically hide it anyway. But I think you can standardize that, and I think you'll get rid of some little teeny accents and things that your bow is making. So why don't we start at the poco animando, because this is every cellist's problem. You tell me, what's the problem at the poco animando?
I think that the bow changes are too sudden. Maybe they stick out and it breaks the phrase.
About over the course of 8 bars, what about dynamics?
Well, the second time should, of course, be less than the first time.
Yeah. See, this is where Debussy gets very specific. So he actually, I say specific, he doesn't actually give us a real dynamic marking. He just says poco animando, and he says dolce sostenuto. We should talk about that for a second. But then 2 bars later, he writes più dolce. Right. So he wants something different. And then 2 bars after that, he writes più piano, which he means, what does he want? Less, right? And then 2 bars after that, he writes pianissimo. So in those 8 bars, he's been quite specific about what he wants. So maybe you didn't give yourself enough room at the beginning. Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you another question. When you think flottando, which is very much a part of impressionistic playing, and you were doing a lot of it, do you always think of over the fingerboard?
Not always.
Good. Yeah, because I thought when you started, you can get an airy sound with a little more contact point, so it still sounds breezy and easy and open, but it's so that then when you come back to the più piano, you actually have given yourself some room.
Okay.
So I would suggest that the first one, actually just play those 3 notes once and try them, feel light, but try them closer to the bridge. That's right. You can get an airy sound down there, and now play the più piano when it comes. Right, now I can hear the difference. So that one can be a sur la touche. That can be up over the fingerboard.
Okay.
Right? That's just one way to do it. And now what about più dolce? What would you, how do you, I heard you do a change there. I could tell you were after something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you verbalize it? What do you?
I think it's somehow more hopeful, or there's a different emotion that gets introduced in that.
What do you do with the bow or with the vibrato, or do you know, or you?
I think I try to intensify the left hand, or not intensify isn't the right word, but give it a different color.
Yeah, I mean, più dolce means sweeter, right? Yes. So to me, the sweetness does have something to do with the vibrato. Yeah. Maybe you want to think a little warmer or a little bit more expressive. Yeah. You want to try it? And oh, let's talk about one more thing, which is sort of a debatable point, I guess, but do you notice that he writes poco animando, and then he also writes dolce sostenuto. So are animando and sostenuto compatible?
No.
Not usually, are they? Yeah. So can't really do both, or maybe we can. So sostenuto maybe, I mean, usually when we think about traditional use of the word sostenuto, it's with a little bit of stretch or pulling back, or it literally means sustained, right? So that's why you say it doesn't really go with animando, which is to go forward. Yeah. So I think if you look, he writes sostenuto like, I never counted them. I bet he writes it 30 times in the course of the sonata. I think he means he doesn't want it kind of up and down and moving around a lot. He just wants something level and sustained and maybe calm, right? So if you think of, I'm doing it slow motion. Try that. Try it slow once, so you just keep the bow very level. Right. Right, and now comes the dolce where you play warmer. Good. And then the next one is softer, so you, bravo, that's it. Want to do that in tempo together? Yeah. Yeah, so sorry, I'm being funny. I think he means to avoid that.
Okay.
Okay. I can't prove that. That's just what my guess as to what sostenuto means, right? Yeah, right. So in order to get a change on the più dolce, just don't give away the color that you're going to use in the next bar, right? Yeah. Good. One more time. Now change. Beautiful. Right. So the CD, I know you went to France, you speak French, right? So it means, you see it on all the road signs all over France, right?
Yeah, slow.
Huh?
Slow.
Yielding. It's like yielding or giving up, right? So it's like retard, but maybe less than retard, right? So so whatever the speed of that is, that would be slower if you want to just pace that, right? Okay. And then one more thing. Again, I can tell that you feel it. And the next time, I think you want to be, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Right? So do you have a plan as to how you can make that work more effectively?
I try to color the note differently to make it stand out. Some make it a different, like a surprise almost.
Yeah. So that's right. That's what you want to do. So what I like to think of is, in order to make it a surprise and to make it stand out, be careful not to do it the first time. So just play. Don't go. If you lean on the A, then when you lean, you've already done it, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. So let's go on. How about, why don't we go on from the au mouvement at number 1, right? Good, right, good. So, see, I don't know, to me, that bow change, do you need it? That's one of those note grouping things I meant.
Oh.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, because, it's all written under a slur, and there's sort of something nice about the tension of not just moving quite so fast,
Sure.
right?
The second time?
Yes, I just wanted to ask you about the other thing. So we all do it. It's so tempting on make a nice retard, which he didn't write. Yeah, yeah. Have you ever tried making the transition in without the retard?
Yeah.
Yeah, or at least minimize it. And then I'll really shock you. Okay, you see how he writes a bar to a bow here? Did you ever do it? It's really impressionistic. I think it's instead of, or if you do this, don't be hitting the G, right? Yeah.
Should I try it?
Sure, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, the second time.
Okay, bravo on that, very good. So just to show that I'm really happy to break my own rules sometimes, I loved the way you played number 2, ba-da-da-da, at the forte. You changed the bow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it sounded great. And it's forte molto, right? Sostenuto there, so you need the bow, and so you covered it. That was fine. When you need it, you do it. If you don't need it, you don't do it, I think. This, you changed the bow, huh?
Yeah, I meant to do it in one bow.
Oh, yeah, try it once. Let me just see how you, if you, right, so it becomes kind of an emotional, right, you get just a little bit more release, and then, right, so you attach it to here, right? And then the next section's very cool. It says in great big bold print rubato, which I don't hear a lot of.
Okay.
And then what's the lusingando?
I'm not sure.
It's a very cool word. Brahms uses it. You find it, and it's actually kind of, people that speak Italian have told me that it's a difficult word to translate because it has sort of different connotations. But the most common translation actually is flattering.
Flattering.
Yes. Sometimes there's like it has kind of a seductive connotations, or some people it's like gentle waves. I've heard all of these kinds of descriptions of people trying to explain what lusingando means. But if you think, can you flatter a little bit? So let's, actually just do it once technically. Right, so can you, I think it sounds even cooler if you take out all the bumps. If I take your arm, so if you, so you can cross the string with no. Okay. Right, Yeah, so you're making a, yeah, so what you want to do is lift your upper arm. Upper arm keeps just coming. Just do everything from here. That's getting better, right. Right, good, bravo. So you can see that's a kind of a very cool, seductive or flattering. You could be super charming with it.
Okay.
Right? And maybe don't play them all the same. So what I like to do is first one a little slower, the second one a little faster, and the third one a little slower. Just try something like that. Yeah. How about da pa 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 together, the two of you before?
We can do that one.
Yeah, no, that's good. Oh, okay. She started here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do that one more time. The same pa 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 pa. Something like that, right? Okay, bravo. I just want to do one more thing in the first movement, and then I don't know how much time we've got, but I want to get a little bit to the other movements. Right at the end, another, when he does, so there's this slow motion crescendo into that D, right? And then the repeat. I couldn't really hear a difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's it. So when the D major, that's so peaceful or restful. Try just taking another down bow. You did that very well, and then to get the. Yeah, but let go. Let go after that. A little closer to the bridge so you don't run out of bow. All right, because you want to hold this a long time. All right. Go on. Oh. Time or 5 minutes? 2 minutes. Okay, just do the pizzicato. Good. Okay. So sorry, because we're about out of time. So it's interesting that he writes dots, right? So how are you? I can almost hear you playing dots. Can you? So if you lift, you're lifting up your left hand, right? And you want to get the metal out of the sound. Right. So then, so kind of, and this note, this is written differently. This one has a line on it, right? Yeah. Right. So if some people do, but then short. So kill everything. It's and do it together, and that way the two of you can match your sounds.
Okay.
So you sound like the piano, and she sounds like you. Try see if you can. Okay. Yeah, that's good. wish we had more time to work on it. Right? So just do the 2 notes that have the, and the open C. See where those, how they're written differently? Yeah. Yeah, I think more gentle, just with vibrato. Right, and then, and then back to the, so I think these notes just pull through a little slower, and these you can pull with quick energy. Yeah, that's it. Okay, sounds great, thank you. Yeah.